song?
I'd be disappointed if he hadn't said that. Oh, yeah, I don't think he does. I really don't think he does.
Gentlemen, we're up.
We good? Like to call to order the Town of Alton Zoning Board of Adjustment public hearing. Today's date is Thursday, August 6, 2026. Welcome, everybody. We don't have an alternate to approve, but we do have a quorum, so we will move forward. The purpose of this hearing is to allow anyone concerned with an appeal to the Zoning Board of Adjustments to present evidence for or against the appeal. The evidence may be in the form of an opinion rather than an established fact. However, it should support the grounds that the board must consider when making a determination. The purpose of the hearing is not to gauge the sentiment of the public or to hear personal reasons why individuals are for or against an appeal, but all facts and opinions based on reasonable assumptions will be considered. In the case of an appeal for a variance, the board must determine facts bearing upon the 5 criteria as set forth in the state statutes. For a special exception, the board must ascertain whether each of the standards set forth in the zoning ordinance have been or will be met. So have there been any changes to the agenda? Okay, so I moved that we approve the agenda.
I'll second.
Okay. First application?
All in favor?
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
My
Thank
apologies.
you. No problem.
Thank you for the nudge.
Yep. You might want to introduce everybody.
Oh.
Okay. Here, Joe.
Okay. I'm Joe Mankus, the new chairman of the board. We have Rick. He's our new building inspector, recent addition. Frank,
Frank Rich, Vice Chair,
Tom Lee. Paul LaRochelle, Selectman's rep.
and Robin, who is our assistant. Okay,
and
thank
we,
you.
and we may have Paul Manzione, which would be our alternate when he gets here. Okay? So the first application is case Z26-15, Carl and Karen Campbell, map 72, lot 35, 44 Larry Drive. Their application is for a variance. A variance is requested from Article 400, Section 452A of the zoning ordinance to increase the lot size from .28 acres to .35 acres to make location for the existing house built in 2018 conforming to the property lines and setbacks. So give us a couple of moments while we review the application for its completeness.
Sounds like Paul. Knew it.
Here's Paul.
Paul Manzione. Okay, so can we move backwards? Okay.
We
to-
can.
Yes, okay.
If he sits down, we'll. So, we're gonna move to accept Paul as an alternate for tonight's meeting.
I would
Have a
make that
second?
motion, okay, to accept Mr. Paul Manzione as a
Alternate?
alternate for this particular meeting, please.
Yeah, I would second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Welcome.
So now we have a full board. Am I right?
Yes.
We have a full board,
Yes.
All 5.
all 5 of us.
Perfect.
Great.
Paul, just to get you up to speed, we're just starting the first case, we're just reviewing the application.
Great. Thank you.
Was it because he needed to get a haircut, or what was it? I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman, I, you know,
Something that you haven't had to worry about in a long time.
I just needed to mention that because
We'll discuss this after the meeting.
okay.
Jesus.
Chair? Chair, if I may, I don't see the representative for this case, and so I was wondering if I should go and make a phone call.
Yes,
He's
yes,
here
please.
on they're agents for the first two cases, so I'm gonna go see.
Okay,
If
and
I can-
we can just move on to the next one while you're doing that.
Well, the next one's him too, so you might wanna move to number 3.
He's on the second, okay. Okay, so she's just gonna give a call to the first applicant.
Yeah,
Go to case 17.
We can get on 17.
yeah, we can go right in.
Is this him?
Okay.
Are you the Campbells? You're the Campbells? Okay.
Okay, Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
may I approach you for a minute? I'm just wondering if we have Z 2615, which is the Campbells, but we also have Z 2616, which is the Dustroms, and I'm wondering if we should do the Dustroms before we do the Campbells. And the only reason I say that is if we don't approve the Dustroms,
Right.
then I don't think that we can move to the Campbells, based on the facts of what I read in the, and I may be wrong, but I just want to get clarification on that.
No, I agree, and I believe that's a smart move.
Because if we disapprove the Dustroms, then the Campbells can't really move forward with what they want to do.
So does this require a motion to
I
change
don't
the
know,
order?
I'm just wondering if we, as a board, should change the order.
Would I have to make a motion to change the order? Shouldn't make a difference. Okay.
Okay,
So-
does it, maybe we might want to ask the rest of the board if they would oppose changing the order. I think you know what I'm saying here, is that in order to approve anything that's coming from the Campbells, the Ducharmes, we need to approve what they're doing in terms of the special exception, because they're asking for us to transfer 3,054 square feet from Lot 36 to Lot 35. And Lot 35 is asking us to do some other things.
So if I may, you're suggesting we do the lot that is going to give up the land first?
I think so.
You want to do that first because if that's not approved,
Right.
and they're not allowed to give up the land,
Then
then the lot that's going to take the land and seeks a zoning adjustment, that would be moot because they're not getting the land.
That's exactly right.
Okay?
What-
I think
how did-
that
I
makes
think that
sense.
makes sense.
Does that require an amendment to the agenda because it's not in that order on the agenda? So we could move to amend the agenda to put one before the other? I mean, I would so move if that's,
Then I would second that.
okay?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so let's move to, so, Mr. Chairman, I think, okay, we need to move to Z 2616 first. Okay. And then Z 2615 just after that.
Okay,
Is that okay with you?
that's fine with me, yeah.
Okay, great.
So we are moving to case Z 26-16, which is map 72, lot 36, for a special exception. George and Cheryl Distremps are the owners at 36 Larry Drive. The special exception is requested from Article 300, Section 320F of the zoning ordinance to decrease a pre-existing non-conforming lot to accommodate the abutter's existing house entirely on their property after the transfer of 3,054 square feet from Lot 36 to Lot 35. So give us a moment so we can just make sure the application is complete. And would you come up and sit at the table here? You may have to turn those mics on.
Just gotta press the button.
Light turns green, you're all set. There we go. Introduce yourself, please.
Hi, I'm George Destramps. I own 36 Larry Drive.
Okay, welcome.
That's just the survey map that Norway Plains has prepared.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion that we accept case Z26-16 as complete.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, okay. So, would you like to,
I mean, last June, we purchased this property knowing that it was like an oversized lot. We did a survey because we were gonna put up a garage to make sure the garage wasn't encroaching on anybody else's property. And then come to find out, the neighboring house, part of the kitchen is on our property. So now it's gonna be a 25 by 122-foot piece that I gotta cut off. So his house, Mr. Campbell, is within his right, and we don't have a second kitchen. So unfortunately, this is the only way to do it, because we're not gonna make him move the house, so we can keep a piece of parcel of our property.
would you do me a favor and just pull that microphone a little closer to you?
Oh, sorry.
Public can hear. So this is the line right here?
Yeah, right on this piece of, right on here, you can see it. So this is the three lots. These three lots are combined. So it's all as one now. This parcel right here goes partially through the rear deck, the side deck, and right through the window and the house. So now in order for him to be where he needs to be, we're gonna have to give up a 25 by 122-foot piece. So it's gonna make our lot shorter. So unfortunately, we gotta pay the price because we're losing footage of our land.
Right.
Can I ask, if I may, when you take that, when you give up that amount of your lot, first let me ask you this. Is your lot as it currently exists, other than the fact that it's being encroached upon by the kitchen, as it currently exists, is it a conforming lot in terms of its size?
All the lots and all the shores are all non-conforming.
They're all non-conforming, okay. So it's non-conforming to begin with?
This is one of the bigger lots, because most of them are like .24, .23 up in all the
And
shores.
they,
Okay.
This is .81.
okay.
Now it's gonna be reduced down to like .74 or something like that.
So they all predate zoning, and they're all non-conforming, okay, to begin with.
So I had 212 of frontage on the front, 80 on the back. Now I'm gonna be losing 25 off, because having the 212, and the
Right.
front would actually put the front in conformance. I think I need 200 or something to be a
Yes.
conforming lot.
Right.
But now I'm gonna be losing 25 feet off of that.
Right.
So he can actually gain, he's gonna gain, he's still gonna have a non-conforming lot.
Yes,
He's gonna
yes.
gain,
Even after he gains it, he's gonna still be
he's still
non-conforming.
gonna be non-conforming.
And after you give it up, you're still gonna be
Still
non-conforming.
non-conforming.
But, is your lot non-conforming only because of the frontage, or are there other non-conforming aspects? The whole lot, it just doesn't have enough no, but your particular lot, besides not having enough road frontage as required for a lot today, it also doesn't have enough total square footage to be a buildable lot. Okay,
I mean, so right here, somebody bought, this is .24, this lot.
Yeah.
This lot got bought, I don't know, last month, and they're building a brand new house on this lot. So, and this is only .24. So he got a permit to put a house on that lot and a septic. So, I mean, what's non-conforming and conforming, I don't really know how, I know you need 200 feet to be, conforming. What's a minimum of like an acre and a half or something like that, or 2 acres or something.
But is he on a different road?
He's on a different road, but this lower lot that we own is on a different road also.
Right.
But our address is all this combined as one.
Got it.
So technically, this is Scott Drive, and this is Larry Drive. So he's .24, my lower lot is, I think, roughly the same, it's 80 by 125, my lower section, even though it's all combined as one back somehow, and they combined it all as one. So he's building a brand new house.
But basically, what you've been willing to do is to grant the next applicant, okay, that footage because it's right, it's in your property, basically, right now.
Pretty much, this whole section here.
Right.
So the only other way to give up less square footage, he would have to take his deck off. And
Right.
then, it wouldn't be totally 25, but I don't think it's fair to make the guy take the deck off.
Right.
Right.
So we're gonna go 10, I think it's 10 feet, 8 inches past the deck, is where Norway Plains surveyed it all. He gets to leave his deck and not have to take anything down.
Right.
And then it's just, the lot's gonna just chop you over 25 feet.
And all the lots in this area, from what I'm understanding, are non-conforming.
Correct. This is one of the bigger lots that are in there. I think there's only a handful that are
Yes.
this size or a hair bigger. But all the other ones are all because I think the Campbell's is, I think that initially is a .24, .23, and the same with the one on the back on Scott's is .24, .23.
so when you do the new lot line, are you gonna have a 10-foot setback between the lot line and the deck?
Yes.
I think that's what you just said,
That's what he
right?
was saying.
Yeah,
It's
so,
gonna be, I think it comes up to be exactly 10 feet, 8 inches.
Yeah, so you-
So I think I need 10 feet
10
minimum,
feet,
I think,
right,
That's
right.
what it calls, so
Right.
that's gonna give him roughly 8 inches over.
right, so in a sense, you're making it less non-conforming, because right now, that lot, there's no setback between you and the neighbor's structure. In fact, the neighbor's structure is on your land.
On your land.
So when you do this adjustment, you're not gonna make it less non-conforming with regard to road frontage or total acreage or size, but you are gonna make it less non-conforming by virtue of the fact you're creating a 10-foot setback between you and the structure and the neighboring lot. Okay. Well, you just said that these two lots, for some reason, have been being treated as one, your lower lot and this. Are they two separate lots of record currently?
On the town map, this whole black shaded area
Is all one lot?
all one
Is
lot.
all
yours. Okay.
Sometime back in the day, they all got transferred.
They got merged into one lot somehow. Okay, so what I'm asking is there any way, given that you take the lower lot, as you've called it, with the main lot, is there any way that you would have a total of appropriate road frontage? Like, in other words, I'm just looking, is there road, you said there's some road frontage on,
80 feet on
only 80 feet?
Yeah, I got 80 on Scott, and right now 212.
Okay, those are the only two roads that you're abutting?
Yep.
Okay, those two combined would get you to 200, but it's two separate
Two separate roads.
Yeah,
Two separate.
right,
Yeah,
right.
you say you
right.
can't combine.
Yeah, I was just,
Here to make it, to be the 200.
yeah,
But you said you're 212 now?
Right now, existing the way it sits before the pins are moved, I'm at 212.
And you're gonna give him the 10 feet,
I'm gonna
8
give
inches?
the
Yeah,
25,
yep.
which is now it's gonna show me
Okay.
less than the 212, but, I mean, what is he to do?
Yeah.
right.
No, very
Makes
admirable
him
thing you're doing.
less non-conforming.
Right, it's gonna, right,
And-
yeah, so he's
Gets them off your property.
gets them off my property. It puts all the setbacks where they need to be.
Yeah. Yeah,
But unfortunately, it's still gonna be a non-conforming.
right. It's not enough to make it totally conforming on either property.
You wouldn't want to use his deck? No? I'm sorry.
I was hoping they were.
Can I interrupt here for a moment? George, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna kinda need you to speak into the microphone for the recording. It's just for public record.
I'm sorry?
It's just for public record.
Oh,
We
yeah,
all
no,
have
that's
to
fine.
kind of speak into
Yes.
this. So, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No,
you
no,
were
you
saying.
didn't cut me off. I just had another question, and that is, Section 320, for special exception, it says a single-family residence may be erected on any legally existing lot that is non-conforming due to inadequate frontage and/or lot size below the required minimum, provided the lot meets all of the applicable requirements of this ordinance and all necessary state and local permits. So, but we're not really talking about wanting to erect a structure here. This is a lot line adjustment. And I'm wondering whether 320 is the appropriate zoning ordinance in which to proceed, or whether there's another one that's more applicable. And I don't know the answer to that, but, I mean, in a way, the structure's already erected. It exists.
Well, the other one is replacement of the non-structure, is not doing that,
No,
and it's.
you're creating a new lot. You're actually creating two new lots.
Right, I understand that.
So, and what you're seeking to do is to create two new lots. We're doing them one at a time, so as far as your application is concerned, you're seeking to create a brand-new lot, and that lot will be a non-conforming lot.
Correct.
You want to make a non-conforming lot. I'm wondering if that requires a variance. But I see what you're doing. I understand why. I think the whole board does. And I think, just talking for myself, without going through the criteria, it all makes sense, because you've got a structure encroaching on a lot. I think when it's done, it makes the situation better for both lots.
Right.
You're creating a setback, so you're making it less non-conforming. All that seems to be very positive. I'm just being a bit nitpicky about the procedure, where a special exception permits someone to build a structure. If you came to us with this lot and it's non-conforming and you wanted to build a building on it and there was none, 320 would be your ordinance that I think you would proceed under. Here, I just don't know, I just want to make sure it's all being done correctly. And I don't even know the answer to my question, because I haven't reviewed the zoning ordinances to see what else is out there.
F is the only one in the category that obtains to the non-conforming lots. So that makes
The
sense to
320.
use, that makes sense for that.
I don't think, well, Paul, I don't think that there's anything in our ordinance that actually works with this particular one, other than this particular exception, special exception. But I'm not positive.
It doesn't specify anything else in that ordinance.
It doesn't
In 320
specify
only.
anything else in that ordinance, so we have basically a special condition here, okay, that I think there's nothing that suggests what you're saying.
Well, I'm just saying, as far as special exceptions are concerned, there's nothing that seems to be on point. But if you're trying to create a brand-new lot that's non-conforming, what comes to my mind is that's a variance. You want to do something that zoning doesn't allow, and the reason you want to do it. Now, it could be procedural nitpicking here, because, I mean, there are separate criteria for variance and special exception. I don't know, but I just, this clearly says that for the, a single-family residence may be erected. And that's what we're proceeding under for this, but they're not trying to build anything on this lot.
So they're just doing a lot line adjustment to
They're doing
create.
a lot line
Just
adjustment.
trying to
They're
change the
creating a lot, and they're creating a lot that is a non-conforming lot, because it's a brand-new lot. By the way, the grandfather goes away. The grandfathering goes away, because they're creating a brand-new lot. And when they're creating a brand-new lot, they're asking to create a brand-new lot that is gonna be non-conforming right from the get-go for a number of reasons. So to me, that's a variance, and they, it's different criteria to use.
But I mean, it already started off as a non-conforming lot from the beginning.
Yes, no, and that's true, that's right.
It's
But-
still
but
non-conforming, but
it's-
it's less non-conforming.
I know,
They're
they're actually
taking-
making it better.
They're making a better
They're-
lot
they're
out
making
of
it better.
what they have there. They're taking the non-conformity from one.
Right. There's
and
no
fixing
question.
it.
I'm just talking about procedurally, how you go about doing this in a way that stands up.
Right,
legally.
because like I explained, the guy on Scott Drive is building that brand-new house, and that's .24, and that's already a non-conforming lot. So he got a building permit to put a brand-new house up and a septic on that lot, which,
So he probably, let me tell you, that would have been a good example of a special exception, because that was someone who was trying to erect a building on a non-conforming lot. So chances are that person came before this board and got a special exception, and now it's up there. What you're doing right now is you're creating a brand-new lot. It's no longer the old grandfathered lot. Right now, you're fine because it's grandfathered, but as soon as you do a lot line adjustment, it's really in the form of a minor subdivision, because you're creating two lots. And when you do that, I'm just saying procedurally how to go about it, because I'm sitting on the board and I'm looking at section 320 that deals with erecting a structure on a non-conforming lot. And when I go through the criteria, I'm not sure how I'm gonna be able to apply those to what you're asking.
right, now let me ask you another question. So
Yeah.
this whole thing came about because I had it surveyed because I wanted to put a garage up on this property. Now, is this gonna have an effect of me putting a garage up on this same property once this gets all resolved? Because I have enough land to put another garage up.
You're already a non-conforming lot.
Right, so I mean, that's,
You're still non-conforming, even after the lot line adjustment, so.
This deals with residents erecting so,
So a
I mean,
garage wouldn't have
if
any
you-
effect?
If that garage can go on the lot and meet all the appropriate setbacks,
Then it's
then
fine.
you're just building a structure.
Okay.
It's not a residential structure
Okay.
on a lot. The fact that the lot's non-conforming shouldn't come into play there at all, as long as that structure is gonna be built in a way that complies with all appropriate setbacks, and then you're gonna get a building permit in order to do it.
I got you,
Yeah.
yeah.
But I just think on a lot line adjustment, I'm just not sure this special exception 320 is what you use to do a lot line adjustment, and I'm just tossing it out as a
I got you.
question. I don't have the answer.
So,
So,
Mr. Chairman, if I could
Yeah,
speak.
see what you're saying.
So, Paul, as far as you're concerned, do you think the applicant actually needed to make a variance?
I think it should, my own read on this is, I think that this should be an application for variance to create a non-conforming lot, and to show all the reasons why creating a non-conforming lot is appropriate.
I mean, we all get what you guys are trying to do, okay? So, and then are you also saying that once he goes for that variance, he's no longer grandfathered in for his existing lot?
No, because if the variance is denied, then it maintains the status quo. Nothing
But if the
changes.
variance is
If the
approved-
grandfather, if the variance is granted, then he's good, because he's got a variance. He doesn't need the grandfathering. He's been covered. The board has permitted it, and his lot is legal, and he can do what he wants to do at that point.
So what if the variance is denied? I live with that
If
house on
the-
my
if-
property?
If the variance is denied, you're still grandfathered, and you are a property owner who has an encroachment from a neighboring property.
And then what would I do about that?
Well, that's not a matter for the board.
That's why I'm here.
Yeah, no, I know, no, listen, I think that what you guys are seeking to do makes complete sense, and it solves the problem, and it doesn't.
And my bank isn't too happy, his house is on my property.
I'll bet.
Right.
Yeah, well, they're not.
We're actually in support of it, but what we want to make sure is for the record that your, that you are, that going forward, you are okay with everything that has been done, including what's going on with your abutter, okay, that you're trying to accommodate.
Lawyers are famous at conjuring up bad scenarios and then trying to do stuff to avoid them. And all I'm thinking about is, if down the road, someone does a title search of this property and they see that a special exception was granted to do this, and they challenge the validity of the special exception because it wasn't the appropriate process by which to create a non-conforming lot, maybe it becomes a headache. Maybe it never does. Maybe 100 years go by and everybody dies in peace. But
Right.
I have no idea. So when I look at this stuff, I always feel like it's appropriate to make sure everything is being done correctly so that down the road, nobody can have a question what happened. We proceeded according to the appropriate zoning ordinance. You met the criteria. It was granted. You're all good. But this one is seeking a special exception to erect a building on a non-conforming lot, and you're not here to erect a building.
Right.
You're here for a boundary line adjustment, and you're gonna create a lot that is in violation of zoning, and I think that needs a variance.
This had a title search done, I bought this house in June of last year. This had a title search done, and his property had a title search done, and none of this came up.
Nobody caught it.
No.
Yeah, well, I mean,
And
that's,
that's two different companies.
Yeah.
title's
Well,
probably
in
good.
2018, they also
I-
built a house partially
My house
on
is
the other
three-
lot.
Yeah, my house is only 3 years old.
Yours is 3 years old?
Well, probably 4 now, but yes.
And that would affect both cases. They would have to come back with both.
I don't know what the other one is seeking. Is that a special exception also?
Both, special exception and a variance.
And they're both trying to create
Yes,
non-conforming
so
lots.
one
Yeah.
goes into the other, this, in order to do this, if you're saying because of a variance, they'd have to come back for the variance, special exception for this case Z 2616 and case Z 2615.
You know, on the title work that you're talking about, you know, this thing about the encroachment is probably more in the realm of surveying as opposed to title. But once you create a new lot, that gets recorded, and so that would be a title issue. So nobody is doing a title search and seeing anything about encroachment because it's not being surveyed. But once you do this step, you're creating a new lot. You have to record that. You're gonna have a whole,
I understand.
you're gonna have a whole new lot.
And the thing is this all came about is because I had this property surveyed. I paid Norway Plans to survey this. But the builder, which he's sitting right here, he had built 3 houses and not one of those 3 were surveyed. And my house is the newest one.
Yeah,
So if we could back up a second.
Yeah.
I know we flipped the cases, but if we went with 15, which is asking for a variance, right? The abutter is asking for a variance, and then George is coming, after the variance gets granted on 15, okay? That satisfies what we're looking for. Now, we have a variance on the abutter, and now George comes forward with the special exception.
And then go back to 15
what I'm
with the
saying?
special, yeah, it makes sense.
I'm sorry, Tom, I didn't hear you.
I'm sorry, you understand what he's saying?
yeah, but I don't, I
You don't.
think, no, because I think,
They both need a variance.
let me see, special exception, 320F, to increase a pre-existing non-conforming lot. So is 320F Wait a minute.
On both.
Accommodating things. So let's look at 320F.
320F is on both of them, it's right here.
Wait a second. No, same thing. No. It's the same thing. I think they're both.
They both need a variance and they
15
both need a
is
special.
correctly in front of us with, with a variance.
I
I
understand
don't
what
even
Tom
think the
was saying.
special exception is necessary. I think they're both, the variance is enough, because they're not asking to build a family residence. They're not asking to build a residential structure on either of these lots. They're just asking to create brand-new lots that are, both of them are going to be non-conforming. And application Z2615 is seeking a variance to do that, and I think that's the right process to use to get that.
Without going to the special exception?
Yeah, I don't think they need, because.
You don't think it's necessary?
No, because once they get a variance, their lot would be okay. Now, they legally have the right to do it, but they don't logistically have the right to do it until the next lot is granted and the properties can actually be exchanged or conveyed, I should say.
So at this point, are we best to go with a continuance and with no charge to either party, come back here before us and have it rewritten as a variance, simply as a variance, and it protects George, especially with him wanting to build a garage down the road, and then this can't be questioned, to your point.
I think the variance is the way to go and get back on in the very next session with a variance application and on both of these lots. I don't want to give you legal advice, but I don't see that a special exception, 320F deals with the erection of a residential structure. You guys aren't looking to build anything.
Right. No.
So I don't think you'd need to come in here with any zoning ordinance that addresses itself to whether you can build something on a lot or not. You're not looking to build anything. You're looking to create lots. And the lots you want to create non-conforming lots. If it gets denied, you're still good because you're still a grandfather.
Still grandfathered in
The lots.
Right,
If
you
it
still
gets-
can do a garage.
If
with
it gets
anything that you
granted,
want to do. However, if, the way I understand Mr. Monzione's saying is, the appropriate thing is, we want to make sure that you're given every appropriate avenue to do what you want to do on your lot, only because you're trying to help out your neighbor, okay, and at the same time, we don't want to jeopardize your lot
Create a problem.
and create a problem, so we're saying you need to reapply for a variance, okay? Is that okay with you?
It is,
Joe?
absolutely.
Okay.
On both.
On both,
one already is a variance.
One is
One's already a variance, but.
His is
you
already a
won't
variance?
need the
Yeah.
spe- What I'm saying is you won't need the special
And he
exception.
won't need it,
It
but-
would just be each a variance.
He could withdraw that.
Am I right? I think I'm correct
Yeah.
on that.
Yeah, I didn't realize his was a variance.
Well, I may have prompted this whole thing by moving you ahead of us, but you know something? This would have.
He would still need a variance.
You would
Yes,
still need a
still need it.
variance, okay, and we would have to disapprove of, we don't want to do that. We want to continue this, no charge on
No
either
charge on
side.
the next one.
But let's do it right, okay? Let's make sure that it's legally done appropriately so that title-wise, you and your abutter don't have an issue down the road.
It's recorded properly and.
Yeah.
We understand what you want to do, okay? And I think the entire board would say, we're in agreement, but let's just make sure that it's right.
Okay, yeah, no, I
You
understand.
come through the variances and looking at it, the special exception, and Mr. Monzione's right, you're not creating a new structure.
Right, I mean, they're already there.
Yeah, because we're not talking about structures, we're talking about land changing.
I
you know?
gotcha. Right. Okay.
All right, so for the record, if he wants to go forward, he has to ask for a continuance.
You need to ask for a continuance.
Okay, would it be possible for me to get a continuance on this?
Yes.
I would, Mr. Chairman, if I may, I would move that, and the request of the applicant, that we continue case Z 26-16 to the next ZBA meeting, which is in September, I don't know the date.
Second.
What?
All in favor?
What? No, can we have a discussion first?
Discussion, yeah.
Robin?
If I may,
yeah.
if I may, Chair. Today was the deadline for new applications, so it would have to actually be the October meeting.
Oh, okay, thank you for that. Right. Okay, so you would, I'd have to amend the motion that it would be continued to the October meeting. Okay, so I,
Fortunately, you don't have to build anything.
Right,
okay?
nothing changes
So
until,
really,
for a couple of months.
you know, but unfortunately, we're kind of tied.
Can I ask a question? Would this be considered a new application, or would it be considered a continuance?
Continuance.
Just to continue.
Then you're good. September would be great.
Yeah.
oh, if it's only a continuance, we could
Yes,
do
I
it
was
in
under the impression that this
September.
would be a
But
new application.
But it would be during the time for the applicant to continue and amend the application.
The only issue that I may have, and I'm assuming that I could work with Norway, I'd have to get things super fast so that I could get the newspaper, because I'd have to renotice for a variance.
Right.
Do you understand? So
Right.
it might, I can try and work some magic.
Get it out there as quickly as
And
possible.
if it gets snagged somehow, they can always move it to
I
the
can speak
next
to,
month.
I can
but-
speak to the applicants and see if they can continue till the following month.
But at least as far as the board is concerned, if we make the motion and it's granted, then the board would be allowing a continuance to amend the application to seek a variance, and the continuance would be to the September meeting. I
The
so move.
September meeting,
September 3rd.
September 3rd.
I move that we
I'll
continue.
second.
All in favor? Yeah, please come up to the microphone. Introduce yourself.
You gotta turn that on.
Just hit the button.
Okay, we had a green light. David Countway. I am a Realtor at Maxfield Real Estate, and I was involved with the builder, John Tuttle, who's in back here, when he built the house that has the encroachment 5 years ago. I don't know whether you have the photograph in your packet of information, but
Yes, we do.
okay, so you've seen how that it impacts the previous owner to this property. In addition, did some wonderful landscaping all around her house, so again, Mr. Campbell, and his wife, who bought the property last year as well, they're both new residents of Alton. And I think the application that's before you tonight was done carefully with input from the planning department, with Norway Plains trying to make sure everything was done appropriately and carefully, with the goal of, taking the appropriate action that would allow this to move forward, with a planning board meeting scheduled for the 18th of August. So I don't know how input, appropriate input from the planning department or from Norway Plains could have not foreseen the fact that maybe this was a request for a variance as opposed to just a lot line adjustment. I know in Wolfboro, they have a procedure called a reconfiguration of non-conforming lots, which is basically what's being proposed here is just a lot line adjustment. So I think that, I know that my initial reaction, I also represented John Tuttle in the sale of the property that Mr. Destremps and his wife Cheryl bought last year. Both Mr. Campbell and his wife Karen and George and Cheryl both said they would never have bought the properties if they had known there were boundary questions. I've talked with Sharon Wister at the Title Pro office, and I said, gee, when somebody's getting a mortgage, as a realtor, I've seen in certain cases requests to have survey work done to identify to show appropriately where the corner pins are on the property, and that is part of getting a mortgage. And Sharon said about 15 years ago, the banking industry kind of gave up that requirement. Instead, they charge $50 when somebody's seeking a mortgage, and why? Because in 100 cases, maybe there's one case where somebody has an exception, that has to be addressed. And that seems to cover the concerns, as opposed to requiring somebody who's a first-time home buyer trying to buy a house with 3% down. The added cost of having a full survey done of the property might prohibit them from buying a property. So I think the application, in my understanding, was done appropriately to bring it before you this evening. But I understand the concerns that Mr. Panzioni is raising as well. We want it to be done properly. I know that I wanted both the Destremps and the Campbells to know that there was the community of Alton and the volunteers that serve on the boards have an interest in helping property owners solve problems such as this. And I scheduled a meeting with Ryan Heath at his office upstairs, and we sat down, and I wanted them to know that there was, somebody personally involved in the government that was interested in their dilemma, because it was a dilemma and a terrible, upsetting factor in both lives. And it sounds like we're moving forward, which is great. But I'm just not sure that what was being requested is basically a lot line adjustment, can't be addressed this evening. So, but again, you have the vote. I know we've tried to do everything to elicit good communication between the parties involved, and that's certainly been a goal of, I'm not trying to represent John Tuttle as the builder. I'm just trying to make sure that the Destremps and the Campbells know that this is a community that cares about their problem and wants to help them get it resolved. So.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Okay, you're absolutely right. We're here to try to make sure that our constituents, okay, when they have a hardship like this, is to make sure that we do the appropriate thing. I think this board gets what the two landowners are trying to do. We just want to make sure that it's done appropriately so that going down the road, they don't get into legal issues down the road, especially if they want to sell their properties down the road. Let's get it right. Mr. Manzioni has brought up a very good point. If we need a variance, let's do it appropriately. It's not going to change anything. The homes are there, okay? It's a lot line adjustment, basically, to adjudicate the issue that was evidently created in 2018 without their knowledge.
Exactly.
So we want to do it correctly, okay? And we wanted to have it on the record if anyone was to appeal this down the road.
Right.
We want to make sure that we did the appropriate thing, and we felt comfortable with it. We want to make sure that they are comfortable with what we did. Now, if it was holding up a home or a construction or something like that, that's a different story. Maybe we could accelerate it. But this is just to get it clarified properly. I think you've already heard from the board. We don't have an issue with what both landowners are trying to do. We commend them to do that, and it will be right. But let's do it the right way.
And the example that George gave about the building on the lot and back, Mr. Manzoni, you said, well, that individual probably had to get a special exception. And that's not the case in the Alton Shores. I've represented a number of families buying individual lots or selling, individual homes. And if you can demonstrate that the land will support a well and a two-bedroom septic design, then you can get a permit without getting a special exception to build. So I had a case on a lot on the same road, Larry Drive on the other side. The Varney Engineering Company came out and they demonstrated that there was a seasonal stream. And they said, this is an unbuildable lot. So that, the owner of that property, I think they blended that she owned a house on the lot next door, and they blended those two lots together. So there is oversight on what you can do and what you can't do on these small lots, but I don't believe you need a special exception to get a building permit if a septic design and well location can be identified.
If you see what's in the information that you've given us, it says pre-67,
Sure, yeah,
okay?
yeah.
These lots were approved in 1961.
Sure, yeah.
There was no,
Yeah.
there wasn't anything
There's no
around,
zoning then,
okay?
no.
So we understand that, okay?
Procedurally, we wanna make it right.
Procedurally, from the standpoint, we're just trying to make sure that moving forward,
It has to be done correctly.
neither one of these lot owners have to worry about what's gonna happen down the road, that we've done it appropriately, and that, they can refer back to this hearing, going forward. This board is especially sensitive towards these small lots,
Yes.
especially sensitive, okay? But we commend you both for doing what you think is the appropriate thing to do.
My wish would be, I served as a library trustee for 23 years. We expanded our beautiful library in town. I would hope that George and Carl might see themselves serving on a board in the future and all, and just because we're that kind of a community where people can come together and resolve problems. So, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
So, make a motion to continue this.
Ask for a motion
I
to
second
continue
it.
this and to the,
Continue these to the September 3rd.
I'm sorry? Palm, already made a motion.
seconded.
Seconded. All you have to do is say in favor.
All in favor?
Aye.
So, we're gonna continue this to September
September 3rd. Yep.
September 3rd.
3rd.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Have a
much.
good night.
Thank you.
And that's for both cases.
Yes, and
No,
we'll have to
we
announce it.
gotta do his case.
So
In the
15 is gonna come up when we
yeah,
continue
yeah,
him.
Yeah, we're gonna continue.
Thank you.
Is that his easel or is that?
So you want to announce case 15?
Yeah, you gotta announce it.
Yeah. So, the next case, which was the first, is Z26-15, Carl and Karen Campbell, map 72, lot 35, 44 Larry Drive, applying for a variance and a special exception. The variance, which is what we're gonna start with, is requested from Article 400, Section 452A of the zoning ordinance to increase the lot size from .28 to .35 acres to make location of the existing house, which was built in November of 2018, conforming to property lines and setbacks. Carl and Karen. Please introduce yourself to the microphone.
Carl Campbell, 44 Larry Drive.
Welcome. So, after listening to this whole thing, are you in agreement with continuing till September 3rd?
I am.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Then I motion for us to continue case Z26-15 to the next meeting of September 3rd, 2026?
I would so move and to allow the applicant, well, they have a variance already, so yes, I would so move that we continue.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So my paperwork for the next meeting is all set?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your patience.
Sorry for the confusion.
It's okay.
Thank you.
So I'll call the next case, which is Z 2617, map 34, lot 33-11. Varney Engineering LLC with Tom Varney at 81 Mount Major Highway. Applying for a variance, a special exception, and a special exception. And Varney Engineering is an agent for Henry and Ellen Decker, who are the owners. So a variance is requested from Article 300, Section 327A1 and 2 of the zoning ordinance for the replacement of a building to be rebuilt 6 feet inside the front setback within 10.5 feet of the shore setback. So we're just gonna review the application for a moment.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to accept Z 26-17 as complete.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
So application has been accepted. And, oh, would you introduce yourselves, please?
Yeah, Tom Varney, Varney Engineering, and this is George Tebow, Varney Engineering.
Welcome. Well, state your
Okay.
case.
I'm here alone. Henry and Ellen Decker are the owners of this property. This is in the Christian Conference at the Bay, and they're in Pennsylvania. So they've been connected to the campground for 60 or so years, as I understand it, and they own this cottage, which is along Rand Cove. It's beyond Pop's Clamshell going to Laconia. There's a series of houses. This is like a white house that you would see. You might recognize it if you look at the pictures. Water is behind it and the water is in front of it, the lake. The building is 75 years old with a dirt crawl space. They're to demolish the building and build a new cottage in the same footprint. A full foundation is to be installed and a second floor is to be built. The Campground Association has approved the proposed structure. The septic system, water supply, and landscaping are to remain the same, and a New Hampshire DES shoreland permit is required and will be applied for. So in the packet, I have pictures there that you can see the building and get an idea what it is. I also have architectural drawings which are done to fit the building on the footprint with no expansion at all, other than squaring off the roof, basically. That gives the building more space, as the Decker said, we need more space. So, and also a full foundation under the building. But the sill of the building would stay the same. And they have close proximity to the other buildings, like everywhere in the campground. They have a nice landscape around the building. And we're proposing to tear down the building and then build it, like I said, same footprint, but incorporate some stormwater measures to keep dirty water out of the lake, which is phosphorus. Phosphorus is the element that pollutes the lake, that comes off the roof, off the road, off the soil and so forth. So I have drip edges there and rain gutters to do that. And the landscaping will come back because the association owns the land and somebody in the neighborhood is a real landscaper with quality type plantings and so on. Becca said that they don't do the landscaping, it's not their thing, but it's impressive. So there's no issues with the driveway, the septic, or things like that. Stays the same use, just a different structure. So we asked for different variances and special exceptions, so that's what we're here for. Any questions?
Yeah, Tom or Josh, what's the difference in height from the current to the new?
Twenty-eight to 30 feet.
32.
Max is 30.
33, yeah. And, Mr. Chairman, if I may, Tom, you also have a variance of 10% gross floor area. It's over at the 10%.
Yes,
Okay, how much more is it gonna be?
it's a lot more. It's a whole upper, not the whole floor. There is a second floor, it's just expanded. And then the basement adds a lot.
So the floor space is actually gonna be the basement, okay, and the second floor,
Yeah,
would you say?
Yes.
But it's still on the same footprint,
yes.
right, okay. So that's why one of the variances that you have is it's over the 10% gross floor space.
Yeah.
But really, it's not changing the footprint. And as Tom just asked you, okay, the height is only a couple of feet more than what it is now. Is it blocking anybody's view that you know of?
I don't think so, no. It's on a little peninsula by itself.
Right.
Yeah, I can see it.
I went by it, I went
I
to
did too.
see it. I didn't see anything that it
Yeah.
could obstruct, but I just want to make sure that we get it for the record, okay, that, you know, it doesn't seem to be obstructing.
Actually,
If
I
I-
know
if
that
I
code
may,
very
Mr.
well.
Chair-
There's
if I-
nobody on the
if
other
I may,
side. You're
Mr.
actually over, facing the wooded lot.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman, can I just clarify?
Absolutely.
Something that Frank and Tom point out, the roofer. What it is, again, looking at the old structure, looking at the second floor center, was the part that was the second floor, and then the added sections on either end
Yeah.
were short of being a second floor. So what you're doing is squaring that off.
Yes, yeah,
Front and back,
Yeah.
squaring off the second floor on the footprint
Yeah.
that is existing now. So you're not enlarging that in any way, you're not moving forward, not encroaching on the road, or encroaching backwards or on either side. You're building the structure exactly the same footprint, straight up, and finishing off the second floor to utilize that square footage.
right.
Okay.
And from
Foot height difference.
With a 4-foot height difference.
With the 4-foot height difference.
Yeah.
And from everything that I can see, both of you have taken the time to, if I'm doing this correctly, okay, the water runoff and everything is being mitigated by everything that you're doing on the property itself in terms of roof drains and pervious areas and whatnot. Am I saying that correctly?
Yes, you are, yes.
Oh, well, that's wonderful. I'm glad that I said that correctly.
You- you-
I said
you
that
did good.
correctly.
You're coming along rather well.
Okay,
job, Frank.
I'm getting there, you know, after,
Got a ways to go.
you know, I know I still have a way to go, Mr. Viney, but I'm trying my best to help you, okay, but, and I want to commend you for making that all work. Thank you, in a very tight space. What is the different distance between the two homes that are on the sides of the homes, okay? It looks like it's pretty narrow, but
Well, it's, where, the closest is 10.1 feet on the left, looking at the plan. On the right, it's 19.5 feet.
okay. And of course, you know, we struggle with the Christian Center all the time in terms of what transpired 25, 30 years ago when Mr. Monsignori was a young lad, okay, and no longer a young lad. And we had that tremendous fire
here, too.
there. And
Easter Sunday.
yeah, we're also always very concerned about, you know, safety at the Christian Center, as I'm sure they are all concerned about. But this new home will have to go with the new building codes, I would imagine, and fire safety and everything else.
And I believe the spacing between each one of these homes is pretty equal.
No, it's a little lopsided. You could move the building over. We're not suggesting that, but you could balance it out a little bit better.
No, I'm just saying each house, the small spaces.
There's other buildings that are a lot closer.
Lot
a little
closer.
bit
Oh,
farther.
yes, they are, yes. Yeah, that's true.
There are some that are a lot closer. Okay.
Mr. Chairman, if I may.
Yes.
I think there was a comment, was there a comment from Fire Department
Yes.
requesting that the structure, what did it say, Bob?
They adhere to all the NFPA life safety codes,
Life's, yeah.
life safety
Life
codes
safety
and state of New
codes,
Hampshire codes for new
He
construction.
did bring that up. And you wouldn't mind us putting that in as a condition?
No, I would suggest you have fireproof clapboards and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm limited about that kind of stuff, so. It's been asked for and done in the past.
And there's like an outside oil tank. Is that gonna remain, or will that go in the new, newly constructed basement? I saw it in the picture, I don't know if it's
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't know? I don't know either.
I do not know the
Yeah,
answer to that.
okay. If I may ask, on variance number 1, that's a variance for replacement to rebuild 6 feet inside the front setback.
Yeah,
So what's the front setback? What does that mean?
it's 25 feet from the.
The road, the right-of-way?
Yes.
Okay, so the front setback you're referring to is a right-of-way setback
Yeah.
from the road?
Route 11, yeah.
Oh, Route 11, yeah, yeah. So, when you say 6 feet inside, so I thought you were staying in the same footprint. You are, right? So,
Yeah, but we're non-conforming, we're.
Right.
Over the line, so.
in other words, you're asking for a variance for what already exists?
Yes.
Yeah, so the structure that's there now that you're staying within the footprint of
Yeah.
is 6 feet into the 25-foot setback? Okay, and you're not changing that, and you're just seeking a variance because it exists?
Building gets torn down and it's vacant.
Right.
And then the neighbor says, what are you doing over
Right.
there? And he says, I'm gonna rebuild it.
Yeah,
And then the neighbor says, I don't think so.
right.
That's
So
what
now
I-
you've got the variance
Yes.
that allows you to put it on the same footprint, which I think is the absolute right thing to do.
Yeah.
So, and then inside the front setback and within 10.5 feet in the shore setback, again, that's the current footprint, right?
Yep.
And are we talking about the 30-foot setback?
30
Okay.
feet from the lake.
So you're gonna be 19.5 feet from the lake.
Yeah.
That's how it is now, 19, because you're gonna be 10.5 feet in it, in the setback, just like you're gonna be 14 feet from the highway, because you're gonna be 6 feet into the setback. Not 4, I did the wrong math. 19,
19.
right, okay. All right, but it's the same footprint, but you're just getting the variance to cover you. Good, thank you.
Mr. Viney, could you have gotten more variants and special exceptions put in here? Okay, so that we could be here all night long?
Well, I'm trying to address some issues here. That's why we asked the variance for the 10% thing. Not skirting around that one, we're adding asking director, yeah, head on, I guess.
I was just asking because why not put a couple more in,
First time.
you know, I mean,
We're the
really?
first time doing it, we'd like to take some credit for that, you know?
Yeah, no, I think it would, I think it's
good.
wonderful, okay? We love to go through all these variances and special exceptions, you know? Thank you.
Anybody have any more questions? Paul?
No, thank you.
Well, I will say, let's move to,
Public input.
for the application. Anybody? Anybody who has any public input against the application? No? Okay. Then, I say we move to the sheets.
Let's go to the sheets. Shall we start, Mr. Chairman, with the number 1 variance?
Yep.
Okay, out of 4? Thank you.
Number 1 out of 4. Oh, here we go. Okay. I guess I'll start.
Sure.
Okay, public interest. The variance will not be contrary to the public interest. I think it'll be quite the opposite, because we're gonna upgrade a home into today's codes and standards.
I agree.
I agree as well.
I agree.
I agree.
Okay?
So then it goes to me, right? The request is in harmony with the spirit of the zoning ordinance, the intent of the master plan, and with the convenience, health, safety, and character of the district within which it is proposed. And the reason I say that is they're staying within the footprint. They're simply improving the structure to make it better in many ways, environmentally, in terms of safety.
I agree for the same reason.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree also.
By granting the variance, substantial justice will be done. The existing seasonal residential use is gonna remain.
I agree.
Values of the surrounding properties, the request will not diminish the value of the surrounding properties. If anything, it would enhance the surrounding properties with an upgrade as far as the basement is concerned and finishing off a new house.
I agree, and it will also improve the fire safety issues that always exist in that complex.
Safety issues and the aesthetic value of that neighborhood. I believe that's the last house.
Yes.
So I agree.
I agree. I think there's a good likelihood that it may enhance value.
I agree as well.
Hardship. For purposes of the subparagraph, the unnecessary hardship means that owing to special conditions of the property that distinguish it from other properties in the area, there is no substantial relationship exists between the general public purposes of the ordinance and provision and the special application of this provision to the property. This is, the Christian Center is a very special property. All of these homes are on one lot, and it takes this board an enormous amount of time to make sure that, that we treat our residents there appropriately, and at the same time, make sure that it's safe and secure and sound for the community.
I agree.
Oh, I would agree. I think that this variance
Oh,
is...
and I'm sorry, I didn't, and the proposed use isn't a reasonable one. I'm sorry, Paul. Yeah,
That's actually my fault. I jumped the gun.
yeah, I jumped. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Paul.
Did we get Joe on that?
Joe, did you agree to both those?
Yes.
Okay, good. I agree. I think there's no fair and substantial relationship that exists for the general public purpose of the ordinance. We're talking about variance 1, which is 6 feet inside the front setback and 10 and a half feet in the shore setback, but those existed. They're not being increased in any way, and the proposed use is a reasonable one. It's the same use, which is residential.
I agree as well on both.
I agree.
Okay, so I move to accept case Z 26-17, the variance for, application for a variance from Article 300, Section 327, as passed.
You making a motion?
I'm making a motion.
Oh, okay, then I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, that one passes. We can move to the next variance. Special variance is requested from Article 300, Section D3E of the zoning ordinance to allow the expansion of more than 10% of the gross floor.
And are we just on the worksheets, or are we going to public? I think they were all covered in one, or maybe not.
Yes, I think
Yeah.
we go right
So
to the
did-
worksheet.
Should we do public input on this variance?
So just move right to public input, is what you're saying?
I'd say yes.
Okay.
I would suggest that.
So we will, so let's move to public input for this application for the variance from Article 300. Anybody in the public want to speak against the application? No, okay. We can move right to the application. Or do we,
You want me to?
Worksheet.
Worksheet.
Yeah, we'll go to the application. Yeah,
okay,
yep. You want me to go?
sure.
Okay. All right, public interest. The variance will not be contrary to public interest. As we've said before, there is nothing, and there's been no public interest in terms of anything contrary to it. And the improvement of the building being demolished and coming back in is only going to better the entire community.
I will agree.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree.
Spirit of the ordinance, the request is in harmony with the spirit of the zoning ordinance, the intent of the master plan, with the convenience, health, safety, and character of the district within which it's proposed, which actually all those hit on that, the safety of the whole neighborhood, once you improve and bring that house up to code. Yes, that's it, we'll just move on.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree.
Oh, is that me?
That's you.
Yeah. By granting the variance, substantial justice will be done. This 10% increase beyond the 10% gross floor area is being captured inside the building. It's being done in a very appropriate way. There's nothing that's going to adversely impact anything in the neighborhood, and it's basically in compliance with what's out there.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree also.
The request will not diminish the value of surrounding properties. If anything, taking down an old building that's, needs to be replaced and putting up a new building into code, and to all specifications, usually only increases the value in a neighborhood.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree.
Hardship, for purposes of the subparagraph, unnecessary hardship means that owing to special conditions of the property that distinguish it from other properties in the area. One, no fair and substantial relationship exists between the general public purposes of the ordinance provision and the specific application of that provision to the property, yes. And the proposed use is a reasonable one, yes.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree as well.
Mr.
make a
Chairman,
motion.
I would like to make a motion that we approve application Z 26-17 for the variance number 2, and with the condition that the fire department concerns, as stated on the review sheet, be met.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Great. Okay, we'll move to the next special exception from Article 300, Section 320D3. We should just move right to the sheets on this also. Oh, sorry. Anybody in the public want to speak for this application? Anybody in the public want to speak against this application? Okay. I motion that we move toward the worksheet. Who would be first?
Sure.
Tom?
A plat has been submitted in accordance with the appropriate criteria in Article 500, Section 520B. Yes.
Special exception.
I don't have the sheet. No,
Is everybody going to vote on that? Right? Joe?
I can read out the names. I got it.
I was waiting for Mr. Chairman to find his thing.
Oh, sorry.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree as well.
Yes, I think so.
Okay, great. Lost track. The specific site is an appropriate location for the use. Again, this is a residential structure, and the use is not changing, and is staying on the same footprint.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree.
Mr. Monzioni.
It's me?
Yes.
We're going backwards.
We're going backwards this time.
Stay with us.
Factual evidence is not found that the property value in the district will be reduced due to incompatible land uses. First, there is no incompatible land use, and second, there's been no evidence or testimony from abutters or anyone else that would establish that the property values would be reduced.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree as well.
Now it's my turn.
Your turn.
Abutters, there is no valid objection from the abutters based on demonstrable fact.
I agree.
It's fun, isn't it?
I agree.
I agree.
I agree.
All right, nuisance. There is no undue nuisance, serious hazards to the pedestrian or vehicle, vehicular traffic, including the location, design, and access ways of the off-street parking. This Christian Center has been there for a long time. They manage their roads and are very serious about pedestrian and traffic. Okay, and I see no undue nuisance whatsoever.
I agree.
Now we're going this way. I agree, nothing about the changes to the structure are going to impact pedestrian or vehicular traffic. It's staying within the footprint.
I agree.
I agree.
Faculties,
Facilities.
sorry? I'm sorry, facilities. Adequate and appropriate facilities and utilities will be provided to ensure the proper operation of the proposed use or structure. I believe the application, commentary about the septic system. So. will
Is that
be-
me?
Yeah, that's you.
I agree, it will be provided.
I agree as well, that will be provided.
I agree.
I agree, the utilities and facilities at the complex are in excellent condition.
Paul?
Me?
I
There-
think, I'm not sure.
Me either. There is adequate area for safe and sanitary sewage disposal and water supply. We were told by the applicant's representative that the same water supply and septic and sewage, et cetera, will remain.
I agree for the same reasons.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree.
The proposed use or structure is consistent with the spirit of the ordinance and in the intent of the master plan. This is a very difficult property. There's many, many structures on this property. As stated earlier, it's an old development area. It's an existing residential, and it's being maintained as residential. So it's exactly where the master plan and the ordinance would want it to be, to make the property a better updated and safe property.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to approve the special exception for case Z 26-17, Article 300, Section 320D3.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
Move to the
last one.
last one, being a special exception. Special exception, thank you. Special exception requested from Article 300, Section 320E2 of the zoning ordinance to allow replacement of a non-conforming structure. Anybody in the public want to speak against? Anybody in the public want to speak for? Okay. I motion we move to the worksheet.
Yep.
Am I starting?
Why don't you start?
I will start.
Okay.
Let's continue this clockwise.
Okay,
Continue
clockwise,
this
we're
way.
gonna go
Got it
clockwise.
left to right, I
Okay,
gather that means
clockwise this time.
like one would
Okay,
read.
So that there's no confusion, clockwise.
Exactly.
Not sure what that means.
What was that again?
Acceptance. A plat has been submitted in accordance with the appropriate criteria in Article 500, Section 520B.
I agree.
Agreed.
Agree.
I agree.
The specific site is an appropriate location for the use. The use isn't changing, it's a residential use.
I agree.
I agree.
Factual evidence is not,
Oh, I agree.
I agree. I was waiting for you.
Yeah, okay,
Get away, Paul.
all right.
factual evidence is not found that the property value in the district will be reduced due to incompatible land use. If anything, this is just increasing the value.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree, and there is no incompatible land use involved in this.
Abutters, there is no valid objection from abutters based on a demonstrable fact.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree as well.
There is no undue nuisance and serious hazards to pedestrian vehicle traffic, including the location and design of the access ways and off-street parking.
I agree.
I agree. As I said before, nothing about this structure is going to interfere with vehicular or pedestrian traffic.
Agreed.
Agree.
Facilities. Adequate and appropriate facilities and utilities will be provided to ensure proper operation of the proposed use or structure. Use of, or structure.
Yep.
I agree. It was represented by the applicant that the water supply and septic or sewerage would remain the same.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree.
There is adequate area for safe and sanitary sewage disposal and water supply for the reasons I just stated.
Agree.
Agree.
Agreed.
I agree.
The proposed use structure is consistent with the spirit of the ordinance and intent of the master plan. Again, this is an existing building footprint, and it remains existing. The use is not changing, it's the same, so this follows the master plan.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree also.
I agree.
Okay.
I move we accept the application, for a special exception from Article 300, Section 320, for case Z 26-17.
That we approve it.
Sorry?
You move that we approve it.
Do we, move that we approve the application for case Z 26-17, special exception from Article 300, Section 320.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. There you go, Mr. Viney, okay? I'm shocked that we don't have 5 and 6, you know?
Is that not fun?
Okay, moving right along.
No, I'm gonna go get a drink of water.
Okay.
Okay, we are
Where's he
moving.
going?
Getting the water.
Did
Go
he
get
ask-
another haircut.
Did he ask for permission from the chair?
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't? Oh, he did, okay. Jesus,
I guess he's gonna have to stay after
I
tonight.
tell ya, he's really getting pushy, you know?
Okay,
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
we'll just hold for a minute until Paul gets back.
Okay.
Variance and special exception.
Can you step it up, please?
Okay, the next case, which is case Z 26-18, found on map 49, lot 31-2. There's application for variances and special exceptions, represented by Varney Engineering, on 12 Boat, the map location is 12 Boat Cove Road, and Varney Engineering is representing Tina M. Belcastro, and Irrevocable Trust, Tina Belcastro, trustee. We will start with the variance requested from Article 300, Section 320E1.
Gotta go through it. It's gotta get approved,
Application.
the application.
We have to look for the applicant.
We have to approve the application.
Right. So motion to approve the application as complete.
Yeah, we need to.
Yep.
Yeah,
Accept the application.
yeah, give us a few seconds.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I move that the application is in order.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay,
All right, so I'll be presenting this one. So I'm Josh Tebow, Barney Engineering, here with Tom Barney, as well as Mrs. Belcastro and her mother, the property owner.
welcome.
Welcome. So Tina has owned this property since 2016, so the past 10 years. She plans to demolish the existing cottage and replace it with a new house, or I guess it's an existing house and a new house, not really a cottage. The new house will be expanded to the back or to the roadside, so not towards the lake, within an existing deck area. The roof line will be reconfigured. So the expansion is into an existing deck area on the road side of the house that will be converted into living space. And an existing deck will be converted to a porous patio. This reduces the building size from 1,058 square feet to 840 square feet. and total lot size coverage is reduced from 46.4% to 39%. There's an existing septic system on the property that was installed in 1992. It is state approved, so it is going to remain in place even after the new construction. We have, however, obtained a new septic design that is on file that was obtained in 2024 for the event that failure does happen, also required to receive the building permit. We have been before the board for this same exact proposal back in January of 2024, and it was approved with slightly different variances and special exceptions because the zoning ordinance has changed in the last 2 years, but we're essentially applying for all the same variances and special exceptions, and the proposal has not changed. There are photos in the packet as well as architectural renderings of the proposed building. There's also copies of the septic designs and shoreline permits within the packet. So the existing lot is quite small. I believe it's only around lot is 4,000 square feet in area, so it's an exceptionally small lot. The existing cottage does meet the 30-foot lakeside setback. It does encroach slightly into the side setback as well as the deck. So, and the septic system is pumped up to a different lot up the road on Boat Cove Road. So we propose to replace the cottage. The footprint is slightly expanded into the proposed deck area. So this slight encroachment of 43 square feet in the side setback is the reason for the variance to Article 327. The variance to Article 320E1 is conversion of living space within the setback expansion within the setback to living space. So that's this small corner where the deck was that was beyond the setback that is now becoming building space. The footprint does not, it does expand in living space, but it is no larger than the existing structure was with the deck. It's actually reduced slightly. This portion of the deck is cut off. So there is a small 3 square foot encroachment on this side of the property as well. The porous patio will take water from the roof eaves and infiltrate it into the ground, so that is our stormwater measure for this property. The patio is what was once deck, so it is now porous, and that's how we get the reduction in total building size. And I can answer any specific questions you may have.
Let's clarify and back up a little bit. This was applied for 2 years ago? So is this, you're coming
The
back?
variances have since expired.
Expired, so nothing has been done to the property, none of this has been, this is exactly how the property exists today from
Yeah.
your pictures.
As you see the photos, and
This is what we saw 2 years ago.
I could have probably used the same photos from 2024. Nothing has changed.
Okay, so what is different with this new application compared to what we approved before?
Absolutely nothing, just the fact that we have exceeded the 2-year time frame for a variance.
Just it expired.
It expired. Nothing about the proposal has changed. We did have hand-drafted architectural renderings. This time you have more complete architectural renderings in the packet, but the footprint itself is the same as what you approved in 2024.
And still a nice looking house. But you don't have a garage, as I can see that, and you probably just want the garage underneath. There you go. Because it's a beautiful existing home.
Yeah.
If I may, this house that's in the pictures, I wasn't here for the first go-round on this.
You were here.
No, I don't think so.
Yes, you were.
All right, I was here then.
Okay, you just weren't listening.
But-
You were here.
This is the buil, you're gonna tear this down?
Yes.
That was my question, okay? You know, I
And-
mean,
and
you know,
That's why I brought it up, and I wanted to ask.
I wanna, I was gonna ask if you would sell the house for $1 and I'll move it, you know? But. Yeah, it's the existing house, Paul.
Yep. That's what, the way it is now, and
Yeah.
they came back for this. That's why I asked if there was anything different with this new application.
But it's because they expired.
Correct, it's been more than 2 years.
But I'm also noticing that you're also changed some of the water runoff and,
No, I think that's all.
was that all the same too?
Just the color has changed. So
Oh, the
this is the
color?
plan from 2004. It's
Said it did. We should ask him about that.
That was two years ago? Yeah.
it's dated 23, but the approval was dated
You didn't charge him more than $20 for this, did you? I mean, you know.
I have no say in that part of it.
Is there a 2-year limit on the variance?
There is, and you,
It is?
I believe Alton has a provision to extend,
Extend it.
but that, we missed that timeframe. so.
And you said
There's a bigger
in your
lot behind it, and
presentation
they had
that
the easement.
part of the
down to
reason
there.
you're back with variance and special exception applications is because the zoning has changed in that 2-year period. What has changed? That would require us to look at that new this time as opposed to what was already done?
So the setbacks is the same, so the variance
Right.
to the setback in section 327. The special exception, I believe, has changed.
It probably
So
did.
it's really just renumbering and rewording of the ordinance. It's still generally the same, but they are different numbers from the 24 approvals.
But what about the requirement, like, the old special exception would allow you to expand and the new one doesn't, or, I don't know, I'm just, is there anything
They are
like that?
essentially the same,
Okay.
just been reworded and renumbered the
Okay.
past few years. Specifically, the non-conforming section of the zoning ordinance has gone through some changes.
And then did you see the fire department, comments?
Yep, and
Is it just like the same, like they want you to comply with new
correct,
life
yep.
saving and?
So and I don't think, the homeowner doesn't have a choice. In order to get the certificate of occupancy, they need to adhere to all the
Yeah,
current
right.
code anyway.
Okay, thank you.
So we're taking a gamble out. Not, what, we're trying to get into.
What are they talking about?
I don't know.
Because it doesn't include us. I feel excluded.
I feel, yeah,
I'm sorry?
you guys having a secret meeting down
We
there?
feel a little excluded.
We're talking behind your back.
Yeah, we saw that.
We're thinking of starting our own little
Yeah,
ZBA.
we're gonna start our own little ZBA, okay? That's what we're thinking.
Only in the minds of Frank.
The applications are gonna cost more, but,
Yeah.
all right. Did anybody have any more questions?
No, sir.
Does anybody in the public want to speak for the application? Anybody in the public want to speak against the application? Okay. I motion we move towards the worksheet. Worksheet for the variance for Article 300, Section 320E1.
How would you like to proceed, Mr. Chairman? Which way would you like
I'd
us to
say
go?
we stick with the clockwise.
Clockwise?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, so I'll even start.
I like
Okay,
clockwise, it's a
and then Paul
lot
can
less,
pick it up from there.
Clockwise, okay, good.
So,
it's less confusing, frankly.
Public interest, the variance will not be contrary to the public interest.
public
Okay.
notice has changed.
Was that you, Joe, that did that? I agree.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree.
The request is in harmony with the spirit of the zoning ordinance, the intent of the master plan, with the convenience, health, safety, and character of the district within which it is proposed. Probably for all the same reasons that it was granted the last time, so I'll just stick with that, even though I don't think I was here.
You were here.
Okay.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree, but I do object to the fact that Mr. Manzioni was here for this event, okay? But I agree.
I agree.
By granting the variance, substantial justice will be done. Building size is being reduced and converting existing decks into porous patios.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree as well.
The request will not diminish the value of surrounding properties. It should only enhance with this building being taken down and the new building being put up.
Yeah, I agree, although it's on a very small lot, it's gonna be of wonderful architecture. I agree.
I agree.
I agree, although I'll say the current building is a beautiful building. It probably enhances values, but this one will not in any way diminish values.
Me? Yes. For purposes of this subparagraph, unnecessary hardship means that owing to the special conditions of the property, distinguish it from other properties in the area. No fair or substantial relationships exist between the general public's purposes of ordinance provision and the specific application of this provision to the property. Yes. And the proposed use is a reasonable one. Yes.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree as well.
I agree.
I move that we accept the application for case Z 26-18, the variance from Article 300, Section 320E1.
Have we approved?
You mean you're approving?
Sorry?
Approve the
You want to
application.
have approve it.
Right.
Right.
I'm sorry.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
We will move to the variance from Article 300, Section 327A3, for the same case, Z 26-18. Is there anybody in the public who wants to speak for the application? Anybody in the public who wants to speak against the application? Okay, I motion we move right to the worksheet, the variance worksheet. Who lit off last time?
You did.
You did.
I did? Paul?
The variance will not be contrary to the public interest. I think there are a lot of improvements happening with this structure, and that is in the public's interest.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree.
The request is in harmony with the spirit of the zoning ordinance and intent of the master plan, and with the convenience, health, safety, and character of the district within it is proposed.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree also.
I agree.
By granting the variance, substantial justice will be done.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree as well.
Values of surrounding properties. The request will not diminish the value of surrounding properties. If anything, even though there's a pretty nice building there, it certainly now will have a garage, okay? So that will increase the value of the surrounding properties.
And a gym. I agree.
I agree, it will not diminish the value of the surrounding properties.
I agree as well.
I agree.
Hardship, for purposes of this subparagraph, unnecessary hardship means that owing to special conditions of the property that distinguish it from other properties in the area, no fair and substantial relationship exists between the general public purposes of the ordinance provision in the special application of that provision to the property. Yes, and the proposed use is a reasonable one, so yes.
I agree, there's nothing about this proposal that is going to be contrary to the purpose of the ordinance, and the proposed use is the same, it's residential, so it's reasonable.
And I agree.
I agree.
I'm gonna move that we approve the application for a variance from section 300-327A3 for case Z 26-18.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
It is passed. So we will move to the special exception.
You're killing us. You're absolutely killing us.
And if I can just keep these sheets organized.
I've got writer's cramp here, you know? Killing us.
Can I continue, or do you need to take a nap? All right,
Who's going next here?
I led off, so it would be,
Public input.
oh, I'm sorry. Is there anybody in the public who wants to speak for this application? Is there anyone in the public who would like to speak against this application? Okay. Should we move towards the worksheet?
I'll second.
A plat has been submitted in accordance with the appropriate criteria in Article 500, Section 520B. Yes.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree.
The specific site is an appropriate location for the use.
I agree. Me?
I agree, the use is residential, it remains the same in a residential area.
I agree.
I agree.
The value, factual evidence is not found that the property value in the district will be reduced due to incompatible land uses.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree.
There is no valid objection from abutters based on demonstrable fact. No butters spoke in objection to this application.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree.
There is no undue nuisance or serious hazard to pedestrians or vehicular traffic, including the location and design of the access ways and off on-street parking. Nothing is changing.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree, there's nothing about this project that's going to in any way affect vehicular or pedestrian traffic.
Adequate, appropriate facilities and utilities will be provided to ensure the proper operation of the proposed use structure.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree.
There is adequate area for safe and sanitary sewage and disposal and water supply. The applicant has told us that the septic system has been approved, earlier, so we have no issues with that.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree.
The proposed use or structure is consistent with the spirit of this ordinance and the intent of the master plan.
Unknown caller.
I agree, the structure has been previously approved, and the use of it is residential, all of which is consistent. with the ordinance and the master plan.
I agree as well. I agree.
For all the same reasons, I agree.
I motion we approve the application for a special exception from Article 400, Section 320E2 for case Z 26-18.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Great. Good luck.
Good luck.
Tom, can you hold off on the,
Yeah, right.
all these?
You might just leave the
Please,
paperwork
you're
right here.
killing us. You're killing us, Tom. Josh, come on, will you? You're killing us.
As I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, I know I've
I
seen
mean,
this
you
before.
know, let's have like 10 the next time.
Really? What, are they stricter down there? Janice Anthony's is on there. Do you know her? She's one of the women. Yeah. Oh. Oh, yeah.
Here's a minute.
The minutes.
Previous,
What do we got?
do we have, anything from previous business?
We should ask
Robin.
Robin Summers.
I bet you've had a lot of, you've had a lot of bite time.
I am. Okay, yeah. Well, she was on in years past, and I think she's back, yeah. Yeah, I just went up last week and Friday, I took the day off to go back to Belfast, Maine. Good, went all back where I was going, Lake Sebago. Spent the night, and then came back the next day. Stopped at the-
Good luck. Yeah. Huh?
I could.
She really-
Dollar?
Look at a buck, I'll move it, I'll move it.
Gonna do a couple more.
Okay.
overnights before the end of the year.
Yeah, you can talk him down.
All right.
Have a good evening. Thank you.
Rob, do we have any, previous business to attend to? Okay. Robin has nothing there. Any new business? I think Tim would be new business.
Yes.
Tim's,
Yes.
resignation?
Yes.
Right. Minutes? Not yet.
Um,
We have to approve the minutes first.
We have to what?
Well, no, on the agenda, that comes
No,
after.
the minutes is next.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. New business first.
You know,
Yep.
Obviously, it says minutes are next.
Yeah, well, I misspoke. I'm sorry.
Does?
I was talking to Paul,
Oh,
and
you were
I
talking
thought we'd
about,
already,
okay, well,
Because we
that's
wanna
the
have our
problem.
own little
Talking to Paul
conversations
is
the
the
two
problem.
Pauls were talking.
Yeah, it's not just, yeah.
Okay. All right, new business. Tim
Resigned.
Morgan unfortunately resigned, and so that leaves a vacancy, you know, for us to consider how do we want to deal with that. And my thought process was, against my better judgment, maybe Paul Manzioni would consider taking on the role of Tim Morgan as a permanent
Zoning member.
Okay, for at least the term that, or for the time being, if he so choose, but having discussed that with Mr. Manzioni, he has some concerns, and I think we should have a discussion about that.
Before we do, can I just make for the record?
Yes.
I'd like to say, I'd like to thank Mr. Morgan for his service, for as long as he had been on the board of ZBA. I hope he does well and wish him well in the future, and I think he did a marvelous job. He was a major asset to this zoning board, and I hate to see him go.
Hate to see him go also.
Comment.
Yeah, maybe we should memorialize that in a nice letter to him.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, I think so.
And I would ask Mr. Manzioni to maybe draft that letter for us.
Be happy to.
Yeah.
you know?
I would. I'd be
Because,
happy to.
I mean, you've known him for almost the entire time.
Oh, yeah, before that, we worked together, he worked for me in my office, so, and then we joined the board. I can't remember whether he was on first or I was, but it's over 20 years ago. You know, and, it was a completely different board then, and he's been on all that time.
Yeah. It's been
So,
fabulous.
Yeah, he's been great.
Great member.
He's served on ZAC and everything else, so.
Would you do that for us?
Yeah, I will, yeah, and I'll circulate it.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Great,
No.
thank you.
I'd love to, but,
Thank you.
yeah, I'm sorry. So, in thinking about that, you know, Tim had asked me at one time too if I'd consider doing that, because I think he saw that he was having some trouble, you know, due to personal issues and stuff, getting to these meetings. And there was a lot of times when I'm here and he wasn't, you know, I had to fill in. But, so the first thing that comes to mind to me is, I know there are circumstances, I used to remember them, under which the board can appoint a member, because, you know, the members are all elected now. In the old days, they were, when I first got on, they were only appointed, they weren't elected. But now, because they're elected, I think there are limited circumstances under which the board can actually appoint a regular member. And I don't know what those circumstances are, so my suggestion would be, whether they're in the bylaws or some of the other rules of the town, that we explore that. And once we have that understood, because.
I think if I can be so bold,
Yeah.
I believe the way it would work is, you have been an alternate, we have no other alternates, that you have been an alternate to the board, that you could finish Mr. Morgan's term till March. Till March, finish his term, and then seek your own 3 years.
Then
if
it
you
would
want.
have to go up for election.
Yeah, then you'd go up for election, but as for now, we can appoint you as a board,
see.
to be on the zoning.
Yeah.
And maintain, that position until it is up and, for voting
Right.
in March. Which would be just finishing out his term, even though he had,
Yeah,
He
he's.
resigned,
his
but we'd have
term's
to-
there till 2028.
Right.
I think it
Right.
expires. But you're saying that the board would have the authority to.
Yes.
To, appoint a permanent member till the next election at least.
correct.
And then a member of the public would have the right to run or.
Correct.
Take over. And
It
you
would-
guys can choose, instead of, you don't have to put it out there to all of the public, you can choose to do that.
We can
Yeah,
do, we can
yeah,
choose
yeah,
to do
yeah.
that now
Okay.
as you being the only
Yeah.
alternate to
Right.
become a member of the
Right.
board to complete the 5-member board.
Yeah.
If not, then we'd have to go to a four.
Yeah, but, I mean, the other thing would be, if you couldn't do that, or if there was a delay in that, I'm still an alternate.
Right.
So what happens is, I show up at the meetings, you guys,
Just
at
swing you
each
in.
meeting, you move to make me a member for the night, I'm a member.
Yep.
So
I mean,
either
we
way
can
it
still do that.
happens, either way it happens. And, I thought, what I'd do at least initially, because this all just happened day before yesterday, was to at least stay as an alternate until like the next meeting or so. And part of the reason for that, without going into it, is there's still some litigation pending. And what I would not want to see happen is you guys appoint me as a member, and then if a conflict arises or whatever, and I've got to step down. I don't anticipate that, by the way, and I'm not going to talk about the merits of it, but I don't, because this time it's different. But just to kind of play it safe, I think, rather than make a decision this evening, I would say I'm here as an alternate, which means we're always going to have 5 of us. I show up as an alternate
right.
or an
And that
appointed
works.
member.
And that works.
It works no matter what. And that would give me some time to consider what's going on.
That sounds good to me.
Yeah,
I mean, if you need a little time.
yeah.
Okay, all right, if you need a little
You could-
time,
you could
Paul,
accommodate that a little.
to think about this,
Yeah.
I mean,
I wasn't off in time.
No, you chairman on me. That's how it
you know,
happens.
if you need a little time, okay, I mean, I know
Okay.
this is a serious decision on your
is,
part.
it is.
The time commitment and everything
That
else.
too.
Busy man.
Yeah, he is.
No, but in the meantime,
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
no
here
harm, no
still.
foul. You
Yeah,
come in
because
and
I'm
we
here.
appoint you
I mean-
to every meeting.
Right.
That works.
Seriously, you're gonna still be here as an alternate, so,
Right.
which, we will hopefully expect you each time.
Yeah. Well,
As
now
you're
that
trying
Tim's-
to make a decision.
right, now that Tim is not here, and we know he's not here, then I know I gotta show up for every
That's
meeting.
right, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
We
And
would
then, and then if you
appreciate
entertain
it
the
if you
idea.
were
Do
on
something to
time.
take his name out.
Yeah,
That's a
no,
tough
well,
Not
that's-
1 minute before.
Not 1 minute after, on time, okay?
Got it.
And we gotta put it out there that we're gonna need, we definitely need alternates. We need some alternates, so if anybody knows anybody,
There is somebody out there who's interested in being
Okay.
part of it.
Okay,
That's good,
Joe's having another meeting.
very good.
all right, so he's, by next meeting, he's gonna make a decision. He needs a little time.
Yep.
And he's promised that if he comes on board, he's gonna be on time.
Huh.
On time, okay, yeah.
he says.
That's what he said. No, he didn't say that?
What,
Okay.
oh, yeah, no, I
Oh,
said
yeah.
it, yeah, yeah, no,
All right,
It's on the record.
on the record.
Okay, and you're gonna draft some type of a thank you letter?
I'll do that, yeah,
That'd be
yeah.
great.
I'll do that.
That'd be
I'll
great.
circulate it to you.
Yeah,
He
guys.
certainly, he
You've
certainly
known him
deserves
the
it.
longest, and you
Yeah.
can memorialize something that
Yeah.
would be appropriate.
Yeah,
Okay, because the guy,
oh, yeah.
I always
He's
look
done-
forward to hearing his commentary at the end. He usually waited till the end, and then he would come up with something.
come on, yeah, you know, he's,
He did a wonderful job.
Yeah.
Wonderful job, yeah. All right, so, any other new business that we have to address? Okay, so let's move to approval of the minutes.
approval of the minutes.
Anybody see any concerns? Actually done very well.
Yeah.
I want to take a moment to commend our new, whoever's doing these minutes, okay? She's doing Sandra Monaco.
Yeah.
Okay, she's
Doing a good job.
Please commend her and thank her because she's doing a super job. These are excellent, absolutely
Doing a good
excellent.
job.
Frank, I believe you just did, because she'll be watching
Oh,
this.
she can watch
She'll be
it?
taking,
Well,
she's,
Good
Sandra,
job.
thank you, okay, and on behalf of the
Sandra.
board, you know, thank you.
I make a motion to approve
Before
the,
we do that, the only other thing I'll say about this is, having been on the other end of these in other towns and, you know, from the legal end, to have minutes like this is incredibly helpful. It's amazing, because it's almost like a transcription of the hearing.
Yeah.
And for the court, for the lawyers, when you have a document like this, you know, I can think of a number of examples where a judge sits there and tries to figure out
Right.
what the basis of the thinking was, or what the decision was based on. With these minutes, it's perfect, so I really appreciate them as well, and I think you guys are right to commend her for that. We're lucky to have this,
yes,
so
Absolutely
I
excellent.
want to say thank you as well.
Thank you, Sandra.
thank you very much, and I'll again make a motion to accept the minutes for the July 9th, 2026 meeting.
Approve.
The ZBA.
Approve.
To approve.
I second it. Hey, Joe,
Of the minutes.
Oh,
have another meeting.
approved? No?
They already, yeah.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
I would make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, oh my
Thank you.
God,
Guys,
thank you.
Nice to
you
meet
all
you.
for your patience and your,
Thank you. Great motion, by the
Joe,
way. I want to commend you.
Good, you did good.
I don't know about that.
No, look, it takes time